Okay, tonight live stream on Tuesday night at 7:30 Dutch time, 7:30 p.m. of course. And whenever you want to ask me anything, you can do this through Skype. You need to have a Skype account. You send me your friend request there, and then after that you can write me your questions, if there's any questions. If not, then it's also fine. And when you would like to chat or talk, ask questions live, it's possible through Skype as well. And when you want to call, let me know, and then I can pick up, or I can call you actually. So this channel that I am doing now on the Ustream for a while is where I speak about oneness in daily life. And oneness in daily life is what also is frequently called non-duality. And I connect the non-duality also just with the practical daily life, because that's what most people are struggling with, and also to connect it beyond daily life. So it's really about both, and in that it's duality, but it's appearing as one. That's why it's oneness in daily life. And yeah, today I really would like to talk about, and that's why this video is also called Imagine Dragons, because when you say Imagine Dragons, you imagine dragons, right? And this is the beauty of the mind, and also the source of all suffering, because whatever you imagine, it becomes like truth. But it's all really, this whole life, your life is based on imagining your life, imagining future events, imagining past events, imagining fantasies, desires, imagining disasters based on anxiety and based on maybe previous experiences. But it's all imagination about things that are appearing in your mind as stories, as imagined lives, imagined anything actually. So, and that is also the beauty, and also the it's on one hand it's the beauty of the mind that is able to create most amazing stories, in which you can recognize your own story, and it can be helpful because there can be some kind of resonance, there can be some kind of recognition. And that's the beauty of, and also of creativity. If you imagine something, if you imagine dragons, there they are. But where are they? yeah, they are just there, right? They are just appearing as your imagination is just going ahead with this concept of a dragon. And that's just so incredible. That's just so amazing. And the other hand is that this whole world is based on imagination. To imagine your future, to imagine um, a better life, to imagine that things shouldn't have gone the way they went, to imagine that things should change, or to imagine wealth or material stuff. And this whole world is based on it, and because this whole world is based in it, there's an immense suffering appearing that is tearing people apart, because this is like the basis of the way our society is constructed. It's all based on this concept of imagination and marketing and our economy is based on that. So I'm not saying that this is wrong, but it's just a fact, and this fact is making it for so many people so very difficult to just deal with their life and their daily life, and to feel fulfillment in the way their life is happening actually, and in what is really just happening in the moment, and not what is being imagined in the moment. That's the hard part for the mind, the character, the person who is living and having desires and having wishes and dreams and having imagination about future events, mostly about future events, but there's also lots of people who have imaginations about past events, traumas, all the time things that are repeated in a way automatically, because there's also an energetic repetitive kind of system of patterns. So what this is, what I am saying with this is that in fact the imagination of our mind, it's continuously happening. It's continuously happening. It's happening when I speak. It's happening when I'm silent. So it happens also with you, right? There's no difference. While you're listening, while you're watching, the mind is just imagining anything, and this is never going to stop. This is never going to stop. It's not going to end, this imagination, and also not the functioning of the mind. It's just you can see it like a computer. It's just a technical feature of the way our physical system is built and the way it all works. And that's the thing with this human body and the human mind. It's a very complex dynamic, but it's not going to stop. So on one hand there's the suffering that appears when all this imagination is all the time taking you places apart from where you are now. That is creating all suffering in life, all suffering with anybody, anywhere. when it's very difficult or impossible, or it's just also happening, that you're always somewhere else than where you are. But that's actually not the case, because you are wherever you are. That cannot be changed either. That's also really the beauty. You cannot be changed wherever you are, even though change is happening continuously. So then there's the other part of the imagination, and you can call it freedom, or you can call it creativity, or endlessness, endless creation. That the imagination that is happening is really endless. And it's also beautiful in that sense, because there ideas come to you without needing to do anything. All of a sudden there's this thing coming, like, yeah, I got it, I got the idea, or I got inspiration, or you're in a flow of something that you're doing, or walking, or being creative, having ideas. And that is the beauty of both sides of the mind. And I guess that in our human life, there's all these different experiences. They all appear, simultaneously. And actually, there's suffering appearing of future events or past events. And there's also the freedom of creativity appearing. And in between that is your true freedom, the canvas actually in which everything appears, the imagining past or future events, or the creative expression that you are. And whatever that means to you, or however that's being expressed, in whichever form it's being expressed. But in between these two extremes, there's this white canvas, or emptiness, or oneness, or whatever you want to call it. And that's your really true nature. That's your what you are. And that's why I think this is so beautiful. To explore these both extremes of being feeling completely devastated, feeling completely torn apart in a situation, in a discussion, or in a relationship, or whatever, and to completely explore this feeling. What's happening? How are you feeling? This is like dying. This is like tearing you apart. And so this is the suffering that you're experiencing, and it's beautiful in a sense. And I'm not saying this because I want you to think that everything is just beautiful, and that I don't know what I'm talking about, because I do know what I'm talking about. I know how hurtful, how devastating, painful, and horrifying it is to suffer and to feel this. But it's the flames that you're feeling inside, really this strong, warm fire that you're feeling inside, that's actually just burning this energy. There's not really the the energy is just it's burning you. And instead of to completely ignore it and just I'm cool, I'm not feeling anything. No, explore this feeling, explore and feel what it does to you, and where it's taking you, because that's actually what it does. It's just taking you somewhere. But then anxiety comes up, and then anxiety is usually taking you away from it. So, but when you dare to explore this, when you dare to really make contact and to discover what's really happening there, that's really brave, and it's really also what you actually long for. That's what you long for, because going through this dying in the moment of suffering, your suffering, which is an imagination, but it's appearing as a sensation, and it, like your heart is tearing apart, your solar plexus, or whatever, your head or your throat, or any kind of body parts that are being, it feels like you're dying. That's what's actually happening, and just explore it and sense it, and by doing that, it can just drop and fall, and you lose yourself in it. And the losing yourself in it, that's what you're really looking for. That's what you're longing for, because that's what's just happening physically and emotionally, and also through the senses. It's your imagination, your mind that it's imagining always, this is not good. I should not feel this. If I feel this, then what will happen in the future? Or how shall I be able to relate in situations? Or this is giving me feeling of complete shame and guilt and whatever, all these kind of feelings. Yeah, so exploring the experience, exploring the sensations, it can help you while this imagined world actually that you are also experiencing is happening. But the beauty of the other side of this imagined world is as well the childlike creative expression, and that is also a part of our creation and a part of our experience that can come out naturally. It might have been oppressed, it might have had traumas, it might have had all kinds of experiences, but in a sense that is still here, part of your physical and emotional expression, and it is totally and completely innocent. And because innocence is actually your nature, everything is innocent. So the other part is that this dynamic also appears, also as well in your imagined world, in this imagined world that you live in. So exploring this is also a really beautiful way to discover your talents, your creative ideas, your being an entrepreneur, or being a partner, or in a family. To discover your relationships and what kind of person you are or character you are in this. Because, and also, this is not just a fixed thing when you're talking about being how you relate to people. I mean, everybody has all these different kind of characters appearing, and it's beautiful to follow all these different segments of it. It's not just the one. You're not just the one thing. You're not just the one thing. One moment we're expressive, and the other moment we're reflective, and the other moment we're dancing around, and then you're just Yeah, you're not feeling very good, so you're sitting grumpy, or well, anyway. So you know this, right? I mean, look at one day. Look just at this day. If I look at this day today, what I already did and all the things that happened, this is such a diversity. This is so beautiful. There's such a diversity in this life, and in the dynamic and the expression of just one day. I mean, it can seem even for somebody maybe who is observing your movement or the things that you're doing, it may seem boring, but in fact it's so intense and it's so intimate, and it's such a dynamic. There's only these dynamics. It's like a passionate dynamic, but it's unseen. You can't touch it. It's just appearing, it's just coming up, and it's there. And this passionate dynamic, I mean, it's all this. It's everything. It's all this. It's feeling uncomfortable. It's feeling gentle with your family. It's all this. It's feeling shouting at the neighbor, and feeling yeah, distant in a certain way, like yeah, you want to shut yourself from a certain situation. It's all that, all these things that are coming up are the beauty and the passionate dynamics of this imagined life, of just one day, one imagined day. Hmm. Sorry, but I'm a little bit, all of a sudden I'm a little bit sleepy. This just comes, that's what I mean actually. This is just, yeah, it's a happening. So maybe this is already enough. I don't know. I think it's really beautiful. And it's, this is a short one. Okay. Well, see you next time, Friday morning, 10 a.m. I will be going live in Dutch, 10 a.m. in Dutch time. and there you can join me for the kind of reflective session meditation, but it's in Dutch, so you have to see that. Okay, see you then, or next week. Bye.